We're late getting started because the parade lasted long. So everybody, chat, chat,
How
chat.
was it?
It was fun, great fun.
It was.
Benches got a little hard to sit on after a while, but no, it was really fun. Lots of,
Sharon, hi, Sharon.
lots of music.
Hi.
So I'm gonna turn this around. It'll probably start up in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
How long ago did you break your leg?
3 weeks ago.
Oh,
I broke it on Monday, March 14. I had surgery on Tuesday.
Oh,
I'm non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks, they think.
yeah.
So
You have one of those scooters or something like
I
that?
have one of those great big
Boots?
metal, things that goes from my thigh down to my ankle, but I can take it off and adjust things a little. I don't know. I've had the staples out, which I'm telling everyone, it really doesn't hurt to get staples out. They look so bad. And I kept dreading going because I thought, oh my gosh, I had 34 staples and I'm thinking,
Oh
oh,
my
they got to pull all those staples out. But they don't, they don't bend when they go in. They look just like a staple gun, but they go in straight so they can just sort of pop them out. I have good days and mostly I have good days, but every once in a while I have a lot of problem. I have a lot of pain in my foot and there's nothing wrong with my foot, but it's the nerves going to my foot have been messed up a little bit. So I have a lot of pain in my foot. They said when some of the swelling goes down, that should alleviate some of that.
which foot is it, Sharon?
My right leg.
The right. Oh, okay. I was thinking you could still drive. I broke a leg.
Ooh.
You can't.
No, but I can't even bend the leg. So I can barely get in a car because my leg doesn't get through the
Yes.
door.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh, sit in the back seat and it's like, do you sit in the back seat?
I haven't tried that yet because, I like sitting the right way in the seat. So when the car bounces,
Right.
it doesn't bounce my legs so much.
Oh, what a surprise. My goodness. We don't need that, do we?
Oh. It's been one heck of a month for the Chapeliers. My husband's cousin, who was 73, had a stroke and passed away March 5th. 2 days after his funeral is when I broke my leg. And then on March 30th, Steve's other cousin's wife died and she was 68.
Oh,
So,
my goodness me.
Hi,
we've
so
had-
a neighbor came to the door. I was waiting and it wasn't happening. So a neighbor came to the door. I had to get rid of him.
Everybody's chatting. We'll start in a minute.
I broke my leg
Jane's gonna come to the
Sharon.
afternoon meeting.
2 years ago and I'm still working on it.
Don't tell me that. I want mine to heal.
I
They
know.
said it's gonna be a long process. They had to put in the plates probably this long, and they
Yeah.
had to put in
Okay,
seven or eight screws,
I'm
and they
gonna-
had to do bone grafts.
Oh,
So-
they did bone grafts too.
And they had to repair my meniscus.
Oh,
It was torn. So, yeah.
Okay,
Sharon,
so I'm gonna mute you guys because we're getting ready to start the meeting.
okay.
Fine.
good, very good.
Yeah,
Wow,
Jennifer's
right
on.
on time.
Hi, Judy. How are you?
I'm here, Alice. You're looking good.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, welcome. It is 2:15 on April 8th, and we are resuming our board meeting from yesterday. And we want to welcome our new friends from Iowa. This is Sarah. You can't miss them. They've got these beautiful hats on, all decked out. And we made sure that we had the most perfect weather in the entire world for you guys to come down. So you're not experiencing the Texas summer. This is just how it is all year long. Anyway, we've got a short and sweet program today. We're going to have our auxiliary, this is going to be a tongue twister, our auxiliary awards that Janet's going to be doing here in just a second. And then we're going to have a couple of matters to clean up after that. I did not do the auxiliary report yesterday because I figured that would be rather duplicitous. So when you accept your award, then I would like you all to say something about what your auxiliary is up to these days. Just a little synopsis, real short and sweet. With that, I think we are in good shape. And I will turn this over to Janet and to Jennifer, who is here via Zoom, who are our chair people for the auxiliary award, and we will announce them and then we'll have a picture taken. So let's get going.
Okay, I'm Janet and I am the co-chair with Jennifer Benish, who is on Zoom. And we'll get right to it. We've had a very good response to this, and please remember for next year, we'll be doing this again next year. So I'm going to start out with Austin Lawyers Auxiliary. And Ann Winkler is here to accept the award. And I didn't find Jan Lamoureux. Is she here?
She's not here.
Oh, can somebody take a picture? We usually take a picture.
And we've got Ann's gonna take the pictures, but not this one because she's in it.
Okay.
So why don't you tell us what the award is for?
Well, she
Okay.
knows better than I do.
Okay. Awesome.
So I guess if you just come over here,
We're gonna take a picture right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
to be,
To the computer.
Oh,
be
yes. Come on
seen.
there and
Maybe we need a chair.
Yeah, good idea.
tell us about our award.
This is Ann Winkler, and she's gonna tell us what her award is for.
So this year we applied for the award for the UT Law School Scholarship, which we by our bylaws have to support every year. And it used to be supported with our dues, but doesn't even come close anymore. So we have to supplement. So this is really helpful. We really appreciate this award. You want to know about the rest of what we're doing?
Yeah,
Austin?
tell us.
So it's been kind of iffy really this last whole year about whether we can have any events or not. We've had some really fun events. We did at Christmas time, we did the white elephant, ugly Christmas sweater. And we usually find a really dumpy dive bar to go to, which is fun. And then we've had some other happy hours. We had went to Round Top, which is a place you all know where Round Top is. And Noelle opened up her home, and so we met there first, and we went and did all the Round Top shopping. I think, what else have we done? 'Cause
We
it's-
had lunch. We had the Galentine's luncheon,
Oh yeah, the Galentine lunch.
the cooking class.
Yeah, I didn't go to that. Cooking class. And then we did our scholarship. Normally we do it in September, but because we couldn't meet in September, we actually had an outdoor honorary happy hour and kind of reception to honor our recipient in November at my house. And her parents came, which was really nice. And it was a beautiful day, which is also nice. So I guess that's what we've done so far this year.
Yeah.
We have some more events to do, but
And it's all on the Austin Lawyers Auxiliary website. So please, if you get a chance, take a
and
look
the pictures.
with lots of pictures.
But thank you so much for this award. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you for all you.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's get a
take the
picture.
check off.
Don't trip on the cord.
All righty.
Thank you. All right, our second award goes to Columbus Bar Association. And Sharon Chapelier has the check, and I have your certificate here. You'd like to tell us a little bit about what your award is going to be used for?
Sure. We picked this year to support the Community Refugee and Immigration Services, CRIS, or CRIS is what it's called for short. And they do all kinds of things to help immigrants, like learning about housing and buying food and clothes and all that kind of stuff. But we asked that our money be earmarked for legal help for immigrants. So like for people to get become citizens and how they go about doing that. One of the things that they found many years ago was that women would come into this country with a man, they would have trouble with that relationship, and they would be stick in a bad relationship because they didn't know how they could stay in this country when they, if they left that person. And so that's one of the things that they focus on, is helping these women who think they have to stay in a bad relationship because they're immigrants. And so our goal is to help give money to the legal services of this CRIS organization. And this money from you is very, very appreciated. We've had trouble doing a fundraiser this year. So we're trying to figure out how much money we can give to this group. All of this money that we're getting from you is going to go to CRIS. And then we're just actually just decided to just send out a mailer to our members and say, please support. There's so much need for immigrants right now. And so we're just going to do a beg for cash and see how much money we can get besides the money from the ALA. So thank you very much.
Picture, and I'll stand next to the computer and hold her certificate up. And that way we can get Sharon's there. It's kind of silly, but. Sharon, I'm going to be above you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
we can
can.
focus it, get her up.
Okay, hold on. Let me get you on speaker here, and then everybody else be quiet, or else you'll suddenly show up as the speaker when you're really not.
There she is.
Okay, so you two come back behind here.
No, get Sharon big. And
Oh,
I'm going to be.
And you're not going to be big. Okay.
No, I'm not going to be on the thing. I'm just going to.
Okay, Sharon. Talk, Sharon.
I have to talk again?
Yes.
All right, now.
Oh, people couldn't hear me before?
No,
We're
we
taking a
heard
picture
you.
of you.
What I
No.
want to do is, no, put Sharon so.
So she talks to be on there. Whoever talks becomes the
Okay,
speaker.
all right. Talk, Sharon.
Okay, you just want me to talk so my picture will show up bigger?
Yeah, taking a picture. of
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so I will say that thank you very much to ALA for our money that we are getting to support CRIS, which is the Community Refugee and Immigration Services.
Okay.
Thank you.
You.
Got it.
Good idea.
That's interesting. Hey, when in doubt, you just have to improvise, right?
How creative we are. The next group is Grand Rapids Lawyers Alliance. Is she here?
Yeah. Yes.
We'll have to make it siesta. Here you go. We're gonna go over here, take a picture. Watch. Well.
Can you move towards the middle? See that? Could you move towards the middle? Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much. These are getting very close.
Don't smash up against the wall. That's good.
1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
Okay. She can tell us about them.
Yeah, she's gonna tell us what's.
Yes,
Where-
the conference is here.
Okay.
Right
Watch the
here,
cord.
and we'll be right there.
Okay. This year, we're working with the Center for Civic Ed, and we're getting some volunteers and stuff because we have, for the first time in Michigan, the national mock trials. And so we are using this money for sponsoring for part of that. It's virtual this year, but there are people, the judges and people that will be there. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next award goes to the Houston Bar Association, and I believe Sue Bennett. Oh,
All
Dominic.
right, all right.
Here you are.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, my, wow.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Say a few words.
All right, well, on behalf of the Houston Bar Auxiliary Association, HBAA, we're very grateful. This is a very generous donation. This money is going to be used towards our 75th anniversary event. It's a luncheon, but it's more than a luncheon. It's really an event. We're having a nice lunch at Brendan's Restaurant in downtown Houston. And we are going to be presenting our scholarships, our 3 scholarships to the 3 law students that we have not yet selected. That'll happen this week. But also we're going to have a nice presentation of our 75th anniversary. We have our historian, Carmela Frells, has put together, she's accumulated all these photographs and articles and just an amazing amount of history that goes all the way back to our founding in 1947. And she has bombarded Noelle with all of it. Noelle has put it together onto a slideshow, which is actually on our website. Will be. It's still a work in process. But it has been quite an effort, I can tell you. It's been months of planning. We're also inviting the Houston Bar Association to come. Their leadership will be there, and hopefully Hyla, the Houston Young Lawyers. So it's really going to be a very, very nice event. And so this money will cover probably our rental of our AV stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, our next award goes to Ingham County Bar Auxiliary. Okay, that's, I didn't know where you were. Sue Bennett is accepting.
Sue Patterson.
She knows.
Oh. Don't trip, don't trip.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you counting. So one, two.
I did not order them on Amazon and they didn't show up.
Tell us what your award will be used for.
Okay. So I was interested to follow the 75th anniversary of Houston because I don't know how long the Ingham County Bar Auxiliary has been in existence, but it was it was the first bar auxiliary in Michigan. Before the Michigan Lawyers Alliance even got organized, and now that has folded. But there are 4 independent bar auxiliaries in Michigan. I'm proud to say each one is receiving a auxiliary support award. This one is going to go to the Ingham County Bar, we call it ourselves the Ingham County Bar Association, ICBA, is a group of very aged women that have not gotten together during COVID and Michigan has been, and Ingham County especially, has been pretty hard hit. Surprisingly, because we were also being so careful, but we really were, our hospitals were full, had to be careful. So we've corresponded by, I do like a newsletter for them, so we're in touch that way. What this will go for 100% is to a program that the Ingham County Probate Court runs with volunteers, social work volunteers for children whose families are involved in the probate systems in some way. And it's basically, it's children who are in need of maybe a pair of shoes, or, to use for something, or they just need to have some help or some kind of maybe a gift. And traditionally they've done a Christmas party where each child gets one gift of their choice, because that may be their only Christmas present. So 100% of this goes then to the social work volunteers at the Child Benefit Fund. And thank you so much, including we augment that as well. So
What else do you guys do? Other activities? or-
not a lot, because we've just, as I say, we are, we would meet socially if we could, but we're not doing that either right now.
Next year.
We're in communication. We're communicating.
There we go.
That's always important. Yes. So thank you very much.
Our next award goes to Kalamazoo, and I'm assuming that Alice Gordon will accept our donation award to her. I'm gonna do this again to Alice.
Wait, Alice, you're not unmuted yet. Alice, hold on.
Here.
Hold on, Alice, I'm trying to unmute you. There you go. Okay, now start over again.
Jeannie Skilton will accept the award, but
Speaker view.
But it's not now, no.
a very special thank you to the committee as well as the American Lawyers Alliance for this wonderful grant for our local Kalamazoo, Michigan Alliance. Did you know that the mock trial will, for the state, local, and national, occurs in Kalamazoo this year? And so it's so exciting to have the entire trials here in Kalamazoo. The grant will help the team, the Kalamazoo team that's been competing in this mock trial. Kalamazoo has won a number of the state, they've won national, and so they felt it was really appropriate for them to come here. This grant will not only help the team members who can't afford the clothing, the books, the materials, the briefcases that they needed for the mock trial. And so the materials the donations have been given by the coaches and the attorneys that have volunteered their free time. So we're so grateful that you have provided this opportunity that we can support this team, and as well as it inspires us to share with our community here in Kalamazoo the wonderful gift that you've given. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this wonderful donation. Now, you want to know what Kalamazoo does? Well, with the COVID, we did do some Zoom meetings. We do have a late night show. I don't believe that's going on now because the juvenile home has been under quarantine and we can't have visitors. We have a bridge marathon that raises funds for our alliance. We have a number of speakers each month. One month we had an author speak. She's written a book. One of our local members wrote a book about coping with COVID, and she showed us how you can doodle and color and get lovely paintings. And it's on Amazon if anyone's interested in a small little book and it's very humorous as well. We also had an opera singer, a local opera singer whose son both in Europe and in the United States, speak to us about her life. We're having a judge who was a teacher and then decided to go into law and will tell about her experiences. We're having a superintendent this month who they've developed a new skills center here, so that we're going to hear more about that new facility in Kalamazoo. And we also, let's see, what else did we do? Well, those are some of the main meetings that we've had. And so it's fun to see everybody. We've met in homes. Oh, in fact, one member has rejuvenated her clothing with embellishments. So we went to her home and she showed us if she was going out for the evening and she didn't want to buy a new dress, she would embellish it with interesting, grow grain or other embellishments to make a new outfit out of an old one. So that was a very interesting meeting. So we've had a lot of fun meeting with each other, and your grant has truly inspired us to move forward and continue to support law in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Alice.
Our next group is Law of Polk County. Woohoo! We have Kathy Koenig, is it? Heading, and Ellen Hansing is with you. And y'all come on all up. Come on.
Come on down.
Come on. This will be fun. All right. Come up here.
Don't trip on the cord.
Hold this. Just get real close together. And go more this way toward the lights.
Yeah, get away from the wall. Step
Yeah, come
forward.
closer. Yeah, get closer.
It's like a Ziegfeld Follies.
There you go. Count three. 1, 2, 3.
Viva Fiesta.
All right, and y'all get to go in front of the Zoom and tell us what, I know, y'all have to sign stuff.
Like to have a seat.
We need to do some platform.
What?
Platform.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you for the award. It will be highly used, and also for your wonderful hospitality, because we've had a great time. We got in yesterday afternoon and we've had fun every minute of the time we've been here. The award is going to go to our Christine Memorial Scholarship Fund. And each year since 1991, we established a scholarship fund. And then we get applicants who are non-traditional and working toward equality and women's rights. And it's named after a person who was in a very serious car accident in a coma for about 12 years. He was an up-and-coming law person. And so we've named that scholarship fund after her. And each year we give out a $2,000 scholarship to an applicant that we have chosen. So that's what it's going to go toward. And we have built up the fund and we've raised money so that we can keep it sustaining for forever. We hope that each year we give out the $2,000, and the money that we make on the interest through the Greater Des Moines Foundation kind of handle it for us, that we can keep on going. And that's kind of one fold of our organization. The other fold is philanthropic. And each year we choose an organization in Polk County that we raise funds for. Our membership has dwindled. So but we're mighty. I mean, we're a small group now, but we still raised $4,000 this year for Children's and Families of Iowa. And each year we choose a person. And over the years that we have done this, I think our treasurer is about $3 million.
Wow.
I don't think it's that much. 365,000. That's it. 365,000. I knew I had a number. But that's a lot of money. So it did sound good. I wanted it to sound really good. But anyway, we have raised a lot of money throughout the years. And this is our 99th year.
Awesome. 99.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you tell us some of the things you've done to raise the money?
Well,
Idea.
we've had, probably the biggest one was the bazaar, and the bazaar was a big thing through the whole city. And when we would have the bazaars, we'd raise about 25,000. And we'd give that to an organization, you know, and they would have to write, we would have lots of people apply and they'd come and tell their stories. And we'd have boxes of Kleenex around and we'd all cry over all their stories, but we pick one. And they, you know, they would have something that they were going to use that money for. So that was a big one. We've had giant garage sales. We've had silent auctions. What else?
Bail out, write the check. too.
Yeah. And we've had,
Make it, bake it, bake it.
yeah, make it, bake it, bake it. So we just, and really, when we got to that point, it was the members, the bazaar was open citywide, so we got a lot of people coming in. But once the organization started dwindling, then we kind of went through our group, and that's when we got to the make it, bake it, bake it. And, you know, yeah,
Question, on your scholarship, who does that go to? Is that a high school, college?
College.
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 Okay.
Generally a second year loss, student email. we
Oh, good.
prefer.
Mhm.
We do allow mails.
We, yeah, but mostly. men and women that are non-traditional
Awesome.
students.
And what do you all have planned for your 100th anniversary?
Oh,
Don't
well,
ask me to do a
This one
slideshow.
we would love to have a slideshow when I heard that.
I do too.
Well, we've already started because it's a big thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things, and Darlene is the historian and she has done a ton of work. We have about 7 tubs, I think, Darlene. And she has contacted the State Historical Society in downtown, and they are going to archive all of the scrapbooks and all of the things that we have. So that is,
And we're cleaning out our garages and basements
Yep.
from all the stuff that.
so
we
it's
store.
working on that. And we've already, Darlene found at the 50th anniversary, there was a skit. So so each month we're going to do something. So we've reenacted this skit from 50 years ago. So we did that already. And each month we're, what? Oh, yeah. So each month we're going to look through it like a decade. And so when we have our monthly meetings, we're going to go to one of the cookbooks, because when we had Bazaar for years, we published a little book and with recipes in, because we sold baked goods. So we're going to go through the decades and have this be this decade and have treats from that month, from that decade. And one year we made a big book, you know, one that we sold for profit. And so we've already had some treats out of that from one of the meetings, but we'll have that again. So we're kind of going through the decades and doing that.
So it's a
and
year-long celebration.
Kind of.
Awesome.
Yep, it is.
Like a final party at the end.
And,
There you go.
and we have a big May wine celebration every year. So our ending is May. And we have a theme and it's a big one, you know, so our big May wine one, anyone who is ever involved, most people are not current members anymore, but anybody, we want everyone to come. It's going to be a big celebration and
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
thank you so much for the award. It will help sustain our scholarship, which is what we want to do.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, our next award goes to National Capital Lawyers Auxiliary. Would you like to claim it, Kitty? We'll take a picture.
You were the president. We can both hold it.
Thank you.
I'll speak. Is Ann on our
Yes,
meeting?
Centrally.
Santarelli?
yes.
There she
Yes,
is.
hi, Ann.
We're accepting this on behalf of NCLA. And what can we say about our group?
Well, this particular award was for Dr. Musumi. And we had him via Zoom and because we couldn't do anything in person, of course. And he spoke about chronic pain management, which was a very unusual topic for our group, but they did it. He was very interesting and it was a very detailed
It was.
talk with a lot of information. And as I told him, all those terms went right over my head, but I'm sure that they were good terms to know. But anyway, he was very helpful when it came to chronic pain management, and we had him talk about that. And I think we are not in the process right now. We are throes of, what are we in throes of?
Deciding how we're going to continue to exist.
Yes, we are changing our focus. We are restructuring our focus is how we're saying it. Because, for instance, our Law Day essay contest, which I know some of you have attended as president, is no longer happening because, well, two things. The schools are not really having the time to have teachers prepare essays and work with the students. We always had the ceremony at the Supreme Court of the United States. That is still closed.
Oh,
Our Supreme Court person here knows that. And I don't know when they're going to be open to the public. Obviously, the court's in session, but they're not allowing public in. And the other function we always had every year, which I know some of you attended, was the Justice's Spouses Luncheon, which was always a wonderful, huge event. And we enjoyed it so much. But unfortunately, it was a very costly event. And our membership has dwindled, and we are not able to function. And the Supreme and the justices' wives, well, now we've got, what, 3 new women up there, so 2 or 3, whatever it is. So those obviously aren't counted. So we are in the throes of restructuring. What we're hoping to do is to have a combination of law-related activity. In other words, giving support to some law-related function in the city, and also have social functions. Now, Evelyn Albright has been amazing at keeping this group together. I have to tell you that because she has planned something every month virtually, whether it was a bingo game, a Christmas party, where Justice Lambert, I don't know if you all met him the other night, he dressed up as Santa Claus for this virtual Christmas thing and encouraged everyone to sing Christmas carols and whatnot. But so we've had activities just about every month during COVID. We are because it's an older population again, we have been very, very cautious about getting together in person. So we haven't. And we're hoping someday to see each other in person and not just on Zoom. And Janet, would you?
No, that's about it. I support the group and we'll go forward. We can have a social thing, but we have to have input from all our members, and we're waiting to see what happens.
So there's a big meeting coming up. It's a big decision.
In flux.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for the award. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you very much. Our next award goes to Saginaw County Lawyers Auxiliary. And who to accept that? Marianne?
Marianne, she's online.
Oh, sorry. Marianne Ferris.
Judy, can you unmute yourself?
There you are.
Judy, you need to be unmuted.
I may have to put one of both.
I unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Judy, can you unmute yourself? I can do it.
Judy, can you hear us?
I can hear Maria. Yeah, I can hear you.
Barbara, can you unmute her?
I'm trying. She's being very.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, Judy.
Judy and I didn't talk together. We should have to see who was going to say what today, so we'll just kind of share it. I applied for the award, and it was originally just this new project was really rather interesting. Our auxiliary is run by committee at this point because everybody has had every office and we just more or less do the office that we prefer. And Terry takes care of Terry Emming takes care of running our Zoom meetings. We had one meeting last fall where Terry decided, told us about a project when she was in at our local sewing center, or when she was at, Judy, was she out at the juvenile center or the correctional facility? Do you remember?
I do not remember. What
I
is
don't-
that for the local county jail?
Well, anyway, Judy, Terry decided this would be a good project because they were in need of sewing machines at the local Saginaw County Correctional Facility and Juvenile Center. Now, we have supplied, I believe, 4 machines at this point.
Yep.
And then we are going to use the rest of the money to supply fabric. They also do crocheting and knitting, teaching that to the inmates. And we can supply supplies for that too with the rest of the money. And also repairs or annual cleaning of the sewing machines. And we thought this would be a nice, good project to do this year. Yeah, last fall, we had one in-person meeting of about 7 or 8 of us last October. And since then, we've had Zoom meetings and we still are on Zooms. We have one project coming up at the end of this month for going to a local painting studio where we paint different things. We have a choice of things to do. Did you want to tell any more about what we're planning on doing in our auxiliary duty?
Well, I think they're still planning on having the May luncheon at the country club, which we haven't done for a couple of years.
We're beginning to get out of hibernation and getting to meet people.
Right.
And I have been supplying the constitutions, and a couple of the girls from the auxiliary have taken them into their schools and found out how many constitutions were needed. So we're still doing some of our projects, but we have not gotten back into full gear yet. And hopefully we can be active and actually elect some new officers and get some new people in our auxiliary.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Mary Ann, that's well done, well presented.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see Chicago.
Last but not least, we have San Antonio Bar Auxiliary, Laurel Manning.
No, not for the picture. Thank you.
Oh, come on.
Oh, careful.
And don't move until I get a date.
Watch the cord. Thank you.
But don't move, okay? Look over here. Thank you. Girls, thank you. I'm so excited. You want to wear? Yes, sit down and say a few words.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
We are so excited and so grateful and so thankful to receive this award. This award will help us with our newest community outreach in San Antonio. And the San Antonio Bar Auxiliary's newest outreach is where we provide a hot, yummy meal for the young people that are part of the Bexar County foster court system. The judges there, some female judges about 4 years ago, discovered that there was a real need to do some mentoring, especially for the young ladies, many of whom, as they were aging out of foster care, would get pregnant and just kind of move in with their boyfriends, families, that kind of thing. And they really didn't have any plans for the future in spite of high school counselings and being in high school. And the judges
just saw this need, and it was Judge Renee Yonta who created the program. And since then, 4 years ago, these girls who have been in the program and been mentoring have just done a fabulous job of having a much more productive future. So they have mentors, and there are people at the courthouse and retired teachers and different people who mentor to the young ladies. So when we first heard about the program and wanted to get involved, it was right before COVID, and we were going to get involved we were going to do something in 2020, and then the COVID, of course, came, and the whole courthouse was pretty much closed down. And so then we picked it back up and talked to them and said, well, how can we be involved? And they said, well, really, the best thing you could do would be to just come and serve a really good meal, because the kids get sick of just eating sandwiches and things like that. And so we were like, yeah, we can do that. And how many people are we talking about? And they said, well, with the mentors, 50 to 60 people. And we said, wow, but we're Texas women, and we Texas women said, well, darn it, we're going to serve something great. So my very dear friend Cora and I were two of the people that went down and served. And I also today, to highlight that project, brought a display board, because as a retired teacher, I just couldn't resist making a little display board about our projects. So anyway, we served a big hot meal and took it down and had the adventure of finding out how you get 20 pounds of hot food into the Bexar County Courthouse, and had to take our hot food on carts through security. And so it was really an adventure, and we learned quite a much. So anyway, and it was barbecue. We served a big Texas meal of barbecue, coleslaw, mac and cheese, desserts, and it was great. And we were so impressed with the program and how the girls were handling so many difficult decisions and situations, but this program had allowed them to process those difficult moments in a much better way than they had before. So this is what this fund will go through. It will go to that, and we're very grateful. In addition to that, our Bexar County San Antonio Auxiliary has an outreach where we give 2 scholarships annually through our Bar Foundation, and we give a scholarship to a 2L law student at St. Mary's University, and we give an additional scholarship to a person enrolled in the paralegal program at San Antonio College. So that's some of our outreach. And in addition to that, we also are involved with the Child Advocates Society of San Antonio, CASA, in providing Christmas gift cards to the teenage youth there. So we're doing a lot. We've been doing a lot. We were just beyond delighted and happy to be able to get back together again. We've been meeting every month, and our board meets every month. And our next big event, and anybody who would like to come, we're having our final luncheon of the year at the beautiful Club Giroux in San Antonio on the Riverwalk. And it will be the Women in Law. We have 2 outstanding female judges coming to discuss that with us. So again, thank you so much for the award, and Viva Fiesta.
Awesome. That's the conclusion.
That's it. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations to
I
everyone.
will mail the Saginaw County Award, and Jennifer's there. She was the co-chair. I don't know if she'd like to add a few words. Jennifer?
Yes, I wish I could be there. I miss y'all so much. The committee, it was Janet and I co-chaired, and then we had also quite a bit of help from Mary Ellen and Evelyn, who have chaired it before. So it was a lot of fun, the 4 of us kind of working together, and it was just so enjoyable. This is a really fun committee to be on, to see what everyone is doing and how we are helping others throughout the legal community. It's really, really sweet to see all of these wonderful things that people are doing. And I just thought we had wonderful applicants this year. Of course, they always are. And hopefully next year we'll also have a wonderful turnout as well. So we encourage y'all to continue to apply. And all of these programs are definitely well worth every single penny. I wish we could give more, but the $6,000 total is wonderful, and we're very, very grateful for that. So thank you so much for letting us be a part of the selection process. It really is an honor, and it is a lot of fun.
Excellent. And how are you?
I feel fine. I'm still in quarantine.
Okay.
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm still in quarantine.
Hang in there, Jennifer. You'll get well.
I know we are. My husband's feeling great too. So we're just having to stay inside on this beautiful weekend.
Did Steve test positive?
Yes, he did. I
Oh.
gave it to him.
All
Well, we
right.
were in the car for 4 days together driving back from Virginia when we realized I had it. So he couldn't really avoid it.
Oh, wow.
Y'all take care of each other, okay?
Thank you. Thank y'all all. Miss you.
Thanks, Jennifer, appreciate your help.
Thanks, Jen.
a lot of-
Thank you so much for presenting these awards, and congratulations to all the recipients. We just one more little thing that we need to kind of chew on.
Noel,
Yes.
before you do that, could you have somebody pass a sheet round as to who is there?
Done.
Got it.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. We had an executive committee meeting last Friday, I
Yeah.
believe, last Friday. And one of the things we brought up was the possibility of expanding our membership footprint by changing the bylaws to allow, right now, let me back up. Right now, we have four categories of membership. We have individual memberships, we have life membership, we have honorary membership, and we have advocate memberships. And advocate members are the ones who are not a spouse of a lawyer, which is one of our requirements, a lawyer themselves, or a widow of a lawyer. But they also don't have any voting rights and can't hold office. What we were thinking about doing is either abolishing that and adding a clause to our membership individual qualifications that will allow non-spouses to become members and hold office. Houston does it. I have their language here. And what they added was the line, any individual who will adhere to the bylaws of the auxiliary in support of its objectives as defined in Article 1 is eligible for membership. The Austin group does it as well. We say any individual who supports the purpose of the Austin Lawyers Auxiliary is eligible for membership. So we chewed on this and we decided to table it to have us discuss it here. How it works to change the bylaws is it has to be voted on at the annual meeting with 30 days notice. But we thought we'd give it a good shot of discussion here, see if anybody's for it, if they're against it, if there's strong feelings. I think it would be, personally, I think it'd be a great way to increase membership and get more people involved. Like all the other auxiliaries, we are getting older and smaller and we need fresh blood to do that. And this might be a way to do it. So
I totally support that. We've been doing that in San Antonio
you
for a
have,
while
you have.
as well. And many of us, not me, but Cora and Cora children, many of us are parents of lawyers. And so that just has brought in a whole wonderful group of people and a very energetic group. And it's really fun. I think in our internal work, like 50% of us or more have children who are attorneys. And
Y'all's is familial, right?
it's just, yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, it's just like everybody's connected in some way. And we found out things like that Cora's daughter had gone to law school with somebody else's daughter. And it was just like, oh my gosh, they were the same.
Do you all allow people who are not family members? I mean, just.
We don't really, most of them, but yes, you do allow them. We do allow them.
Okay, because I believe Rita was telling me that it was only family members was the additional type thing. Yes, Cheryl.
I think it would finally take away wives, lawyers' wives. I truly think that needs to be in the dustbin. I actually read a obituary in our local newspaper. And one of the things was she was in the Lawyers Wives Association, and I read, wow, how old was she?
It does kind of date one,
She
doesn't
was
it?
really old. Now, when I was president of the Los Angeles group, we changed ours so that anybody could, be a member. And, excuse me, but we had the clause that they could be president.
Wow.
They could be everything else, but not president. Well, we got to a certain point and we had run out of people as presidents. And guess what? This wonderful lady who took care of orphans and she was just terrific. And so she got nominated as president. Those of us who really knew it, because we were past presidents, and we just go, I'm not gonna say it. Not me. She can do it. And she was terrific.
Okay, good.
In Beverly Hills, we did the same thing. We had auxiliary members first, with our four tours. We started with four tours because they were always members and it was Beverly Hills wives, and so we ran out of people too. So I advertised in the paper. If anybody wanted to do court tours and they did not have to be associated, they would be an advocate. And they would not pay dues. We didn't ask for their dues. If they wanted to volunteer, we didn't want them to do that. Then if they wanted to join us, they could pay dues, but they wouldn't have a voting right. But they could hold office but president. And we kept that up until almost the end when we did give a girl that had worked for many years and was not, we gave her the presidency.
Seems to be a common theme.
People need to come up here and cancel.
Okay, y'all.
Noel?
Yes.
Noel?
Yes.
This is Sharon Chapelier. My local auxiliary changed our membership rules to say membership in this organization shall be open to those who support the purpose of the organization as set forth in the bylaws. We did that probably 15 years ago. One of our members' sister joined, and she has been a very active member since then. She was our president for 2 years, starting in 2011. So we have never regretted opening up our membership.
Good, good, excellent. Those of you who want to say something, come on up or come closer so Anne can hear you. She's having trouble. So Stephanie, come on up.
I'm so totally for this, but I have to play the devil's advocate and tell you historically what the group has said. It's always been, the reason we don't do that is because this is the only group that is spouse related. Nobody else is, in the group, and that supposedly is a big calling card for us, which, as we all probably know at this point, it not necessarily is, right? So I just felt like I need to have that in the minutes, that we did bring up the fact that there has been past resistance to this idea because this was the only group that had our set of qualifications. So that's out there. Everybody knows it now. We can move on.
How do you feel about changing it?
Oh, I'm totally for the idea of opening the membership, but I'm just saying, I've been in a lot of meetings where that's been shut down at the get-go because of that reason.
I joined right when that issue was coming up. And my only discussion is, I liked her idea about having, they were doing a project and they needed people to come in and fill that project. I don't want to open up our membership just to get numbers.
Right.
A friend of mine got an application for our group and she said, why did I get this? That's we are an exclusive group. Do we want to stay that way? We can't stay that way if we're going to grow. But grow to do what? you know, just to be another woman's club.
Think about this. If we allowed high school teachers, civics teachers to join, who are not married to a lawyer, that would be a remarkable asset. to this group.
Why?
Well, because they're the basis of what we're doing. Law-related
Yes, but you
education.
need to say that.
Yes.
You know, you need to say that because what the older group is hearing is they just want new members. They just want that membership roster back.
Right.
Nobody's talking about a civic teacher coming in, a toy awards winner coming in. You're not, and it's not to be exclusive again, but it's, you know, we're an exclusive group, but we don't want to be, but we are,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Well, then we do.
could
you
we not
know?
address that by saying in the bylaws, you support the bylaws, the mission, the purpose of the organization, then they are theoretically, just like any other member, obligated to support our projects and be part of it. And that's just a line item in that qualification to be a member. And another way to think about it, if you got really technical about it, you could have the wording something that would say, you know, if you wanted, I hate to even go there.
Yeah.
But you could have someone that's like totally not related to anything to do with law, but wanted to be a member, like a sister or a friend or whatever. Upon approval of the board of the directors, any individual who supports the bylaws, the mission, the purpose, and financially supports it can be offered membership. But that would be a board. That would be each person would be have to
Yeah, but
be.
who's going to say no to that?
I don't know.
And then you have.
I'm just saying it would be cleaner just to have it without any extra votes or anything. If you're supporting the mission, the purpose, the financial obligations of the organization, you can be a member.
Think about it this way, who would want to join this group who wasn't interested in this?
But like I said, a friend of mine got an application, and where did it come from? And it's not that she doesn't support me and what I do, but she doesn't want to be a member
Well,
of
she
this.
threw it away.
I know, but why does it go to?
How did she get?
I don't know, because her name is on a list. I don't know.
Okay.
How long ago? Just recently, last couple, 6 months. Well, I don't know if it got tangled up in all of, what we're doing.
Was it an e-blast that she got, or was it?
I don't know. All
Okay.
she said is, I got it, and I didn't know what to do, so I threw it away.
Okay.
What am I going to do?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Iowa girls, what did you all do?
15 years ago.
Come on up here. Come on up here. Well, we can't hear you, and our secretary's taking notes.
I just wish we didn't, have never considered that. And I just wish, the only thing we opened it up to pet, right? Now we have some clubs, but that's still members, right? We have outside, we have started to, it's very intriguing to hear these ideas.
Just not.
Okay.
So, I wouldn't bother me though. No.
Okay.
Anybody else wants to talk?
Jeannie,
They gotta come up
come
here.
on up here.
The reason we're having you come up here is because our secretary is on Zoom, and that's okay, but she can't hear anything that's going on in the back of the room. So that's why we're brought everybody up here.
I can't hear most of the speakers.
Okay, can you hear me, Judy?
I can hear you. I could hear Sharon. There were several of you I could hear clearly, but most of it's just not coming through.
In Grand Rapids, I brought a group back that was defunct, basically. And I went and talked to people. And so a lot of our group, besides being elderly, used to belong to Young Lawyers' Wives, which was 100 people years ago. So then there was a discussion, well, are we going to be official, whatever? And we ended up with a lot of our friends divorced And one of them said, well, I can't come to that because the impression 20, 30 years ago was you needed to be married or a widow of an attorney. And she said, I just don't feel comfortable. So we've really become mostly social, but I think the Cars who gave this money to ALA really want this to go all over the United States. So we are a more informal group, but everybody was actually active, very active over the years with law-related activities. And so we just sort of it just evolved, and we just, we were half widows. Hardly any of us have husbands left. I mean, so it's a more informal group. But like Stephanie was saying, I've sat through, you know, I joined in 2000, 2001, and the discussions had started back then, and exactly what she said. But I'm saying we gotta be realistic. And if we've gotta have a law-related core, but I think, you know, we don't have to fundraise here. These people gave this wonderful money to get law-related education all over the United States. And so we can't get caught up, I think, with, you know, are you still married to an attorney and whatever? And we've had, you know, people come on lately who aren't lawyers' wives that are good people to be really part of our officers and stuff. So anyway, that's it.
And there are a lot of daughters of wives of lawyers who now have been donating monetary amounts to our organization.
Right.
Yes, I mean, it's
Hi, Ann, it's Kitty, and I'm just going to make a quick comment. I know you all know Evelyn Albright, and as you know, well, I don't know, she was married to a lawyer at one time, but was divorced many years ago, and is married to a non-lawyer now. And she is on our board. She's first vice president, so or one of those second vice president. So I just wanted to say that we already have somebody on the board who is not married to a lawyer. And I don't think that's precedent setting, but it's something to consider when you're considering this.
We have another member who's on the board too, who's been divorced.
And not married to a lawyer.
Correct.
Okay. Well,
Tricia Adams. Well, Miriam Welch.
oh, she's a widow. Well, no, but she's not married to anybody else.
Right, but she's divorced.
Oh, I didn't know that was, oh dear. Well, that's just- I don't
According
even.
to the bylaw, according to the definition.
Okay. Well, I'm just putting that out there for your consideration that we do have people on the board in positions of officer who are not quite within the supposed guidelines.
The feeling I'm getting is that the consensus is that we need to kind of modernize our criteria and bring it up.
Thank you. Good night.
Could I just say one thing? I'm really not eligible to even probably be on this board, or certainly to even take a presidency, because there was a big discussion and they sneaked me in. That's how I got into this organization.
And that's what,
Thank goodness. And you're here now,
and
so
that's
that's
why
it.
we want you, Patricia. So you stay right where you are. I think anybody that has a love for law-related education looks to the value of that in some way in this great country of ours. And we certainly, and we're tapping into these teachers that we're giving these awards to. And we're looking at people that are involved in mock trials and teachers or principals or educators of educators. And they may very well be very interested in supporting an organization that is pushing that funding back down to the grassroots, to the students, to the people that are coming up and are going to be able to have that value and that kind of an education as we go forward. It's kind of like, this is just quickly, we do a program at our Fine Arts Center in East Lansing where we bring children into to see theater productions. And we make sure that we go in and we educate them about what it is to do live theater. What's it like to do these kinds of things? We have all kinds of educational programs. These are going to be our patrons as we go forward. These students that we touch and these different teachers that are touching these students are going to be our future, that are going to be setting the examples in our country of how to be a good citizen. And that's pretty important. So if we can expand our small influence out to more people, I think that that would be very valuable.
Carol, do I need, or am I close enough?
You project pretty well.
Ann, can you hear Cheryl, Ann?
Hello, Ann.
I think she's muted.
Ann, you're muted. Can you hear Cheryl?
Thumbs up.
Keep talking, Cheryl.
Okay.
No.
Think that we are really at the point where I don't want to make a motion, but could we just have yes or no? Is there anybody in the group right now that objects to letting anybody in who agrees to our bylaws and our goals? Is there anybody who objects to letting people in? Or it sounds like we all think it's a great idea. All right, I'll do it this way. Does anybody object to having people as members who could also end up being president, who are not lawyers or? And raise your hand if you don't want that to happen.
Virginia, you're not smiling.
Just
listening.
You got our lawyer face.
Yeah, I know.
But I think by the non-vote that you just received, I think we should go ahead and put together some language to submit at the annual meeting.
I get just the point, and pretty well he's a parliamentarian. However, in my little world that I work in, it would be something that get the language together, send it out to the board.
That's what I was going to do.
And then have proof to the board and then it goes at the end.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I put my head down.
That's all right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is to come up with maybe several variations of language.
I assume that she heard me.
Speak up, Sue.
If an organization does not change, they die. So I think
Okay, well, then moving forward, maybe the executive committee puts together some variations of language of how this might work, and we'll send it out to the board and agree on one, and then submit it at the annual meeting to amend the bylaws as such. That sound like a good idea? Yes.
That would work.
After
But
the
when-
executive board, does it then need to go to?
The board to finalize the language, to
Right,
bless it.
and then to email.
It needs to be published 30
Yeah.
30
Yes,
days ahead.
yes.
Yeah.
The announcement
And Jeannie
to,
does that. Jeannie and Noel can both do that in their blogs.
sounds good.
Great.
I think we're just about done. A couple of teeny tiny things that I wanted to bring up. Natalie wanted me to let you know that her information in the paper directory is not accurate. It will be corrected the next edition, but her information online in the online directory is fine. So if you need to call her to get the names of somebody for her telephone tree, use the information in the website.
And her email's correct.
And her email is correct on the website.
And the rest of it.
Who is going to be doing it?
Unless somebody else would like to. Do I see a hand?
Now, the most important announcement today is how to get to the happy hour at 6 o'clock. It's tricky because I'm on the 11th floor and you need a card key for the 11th floor to do this. So Jackie has generously offered her daughter's services.
She's the one that's been thrown into the fire several times.
So Adrian, starting about a little before 6, will be downstairs. You have to go, if you're staying here, you still can't get in there. You have to go all the way down. She will tap the thing, press the 11th floor button, and you can come up to 1125, where Joette has prepared this amazing spread of food. And unfortunately, she had to go back to Austin because she's flying to Miami tomorrow. But we have champagne, wine, and beer, and margaritas, and enough food. No one's going to be hungry for dinner, which is just silly. But that's how it's got to go. So let your spouses and anybody else who's not here know that they need to go down, have her tap you in, and then come on up about 6.
11:25.
11:25. Yes, you'll hear us. It's kind of way in the back. You kind of turn to the left and then follow the hallway.
Is the person that's going to be there with the car going to be wearing one of the cables so that we'll?
Yes, she will.
Well, and Adrian's what, probably 6'1", 6'2". She's so beautiful, tall. You can't.
You've
miss
seen her,
her.
Sue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why don't you all make sure you wear your name tags so that she knows that that's who you are? So like some strange person come up to my room. Yes, Kathy. Yes. Right. Second thing, Boudreaux's tonight are reservations at 8:30. I apologize for the lateness of that, but that's the only time we could get a group reservation with a fiesta going on. It's a fabulous menu. I think we have 4 different entree selections, and then everything goes with that. It is a cash bar, so if you want margaritas, you're going to have to spring for those yourself. And I think we arranged that the waitress will keep separate tabs for everybody on that. So just an FYI. It's close. It's on the other side of the river and turn left.
The Elmo?
Oh, other way.
The other side, and back of us, back behind us.
Yeah, put Boudreaux's on your Google Maps and tell it to walk, and it'll lead you right there.
It's across from the Majestic Theater.
Well, okay, but that's the river. If you go in on the Riverwalk side, that's what I'm thinking. All right. And then finally, for those going to Rita's brunch tomorrow, it's logistically a little tricky because it's far out there, and she encourages people to carpool if you can and take an Uber if you have to. If you need to bring your luggage, she has plenty of room for that. I'm not sure what else to say, but good luck. Yes. Dodie.
People with that.
Yes.
So, tell your driver, or if you are driving, hold up, the big thing is to get on 1604 West. Because I asked Rita, I said, should we come out 10? And she said, no. She said, go either 10 or 37 north. Take either of those north, get on 1604 West. So from the downtown, you can take either Interstate 10, or you can take Interstate 37. 10 is west of us, 37 is literally 2 blocks that way. Taking either one, you will go all the way out to Loop 1604 West. It's the outer loop. You must go 1604 West. Go west on 1604. You will go beyond 1604 at 10. You'll go west of that and go to the Babcock Road exit, road. Go to that exit, take a right, go north on Babcock, 4.1
Should be
miles.
able to hear.
You'll see a fire station. Turn right to the fire station, and she is just not very far down from there in a cul-de-sac where there will be more balloons. Take a right to the fire. Take 1604 west to 1604. Right, and then go north. You've taken a right on that top road off 1604 west. And go over 4 miles north on that top road. And you get to the fire station to the right. Go down that road and If anybody needs a ride, you can get out to my house. I don't have a real big car, but I can take 3 people from my house. If you want to text me tomorrow morning and say, yeah, right, you can Uber out to our house. And we'll take 3 besides myself, and that is 308 Fawn Drive. I think that's Drive in Chavano Park. That's important. Chavano Park. There's fawn drives all over the place. There's like Little Fawn and Grubby Fawn and they like Fawn Drive, Chavano Park, and again, I know that there were a couple people in that park can't find somebody to ride with, and you can be at my house by 10:15. That's about when I'll be leaving for the brunch.
Why don't you all write this down? This is Rita's phone number. It's 210-313-2927, in case you get lost.
So you can either take I-10 or I-37 and 16 or will go out.
Either. Yeah, 16, of course, like this big outer loop. Okay, yeah. We have an inner loop that's 410 and several freeways run north-south on that. And then we have the outer loop, which is 16. So that would be. Yes, yeah. If you're driving out 10, you'll see all these big signs to access 16 west. That's the key thing. And you'll be going west. Yeah, you'll be going west and then take right on that top enough for you to do it. And you can text me. Mine is 210-219-0126. So there's a couple of stragglers throughout my house. I live right inside 16.
Excellent. Anybody have anything else? Yes, Stephanie.
Thank you to San Antonio.
Absolutely. You stole my thunder, man. You stole my thunder. This has been so much fun. So much fun. All right. All right, with that, this meeting is adjourned. Y'all go have some fun and I'll see you upstairs at